The final segment of this lesson is teaching Ava to move over when I tap on her. You're going to see that as I'm tapping her hindquarters, she's going to be lifting her hind leg up, she's going to be kicking out at it. She doesn't understand that when I tap on her that she needs to move away. If I tap on her butt, she moves her butt away. If I tap on her shoulder, she moves her shoulder away. If I tap on her belly, she needs to move her belly away. This is a very, very important lesson because then when I'm on her riding and I have my dressage whip, she can understand that if I'm tapping, tap, tap, tap means move over. Now the technique I'm using, you can see, is I'm going to tap, 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 and then I'm going to take the riding crop that I have and I'm going to pet her with it, nice and gentle. So she starts to interpret the difference between I want her to actively move over and now I'm just touching. So that way she starts to understand there's a difference in the energy that's involved. And right there she's kicking out, so I just ignore that and keep tapping so that she learns that that is not the response I'm looking for. Because you have to remember right now, I'm teaching Ava a new language, teaching her the language of people. And the only way she can figure out what I'm telling her is to try different things. So when she does something wrong, I just have to ignore that and keep asking exactly in the same manner until she gives me the right answer, and then I pet her. And that's how she starts to figure out what I'm doing. So she will learn more quickly the more consistent that I am. If I mess up and do something not perfect, it's okay. It doesn't ruin anything. It just means that we have to practice a little bit more. So right now she's trying out ignoring me and hoping I'll quit. So I'm just going to keep tapping her. Then she picked up her leg, and that's not the response I wanted. Then she moved over, and I said, "Good girl." So this is just going to take a little while of repetitively asking for tap, tap, tap. Now she's trying to move forward. That's not what I want. So I just keep asking. There I had to reposition my rope. So like I said, you may have to have some delays in your process. It's not a big deal. Just want to ultimately let her see that she can move over. So there she tried kicking again. And I'm still tapping. I know you can't see that, but then I'm petting her because then she moved her butt over. So I'm just going to keep asking her again. So then she tried picking her leg up. It's not what I want. So now she's ignoring me. And I'm going to just keep tapping. Then she picks up the leg. But there she moved, and then I'm going to pet her. Say, "Good." And then I go right back to tapping again. And right now her favorite response is to kick out. And now I'm petting her because she moved over. You can see she's trying to sort it out. She's looking at me. She's really wondering why I'm bothering her. But you're going to see, we're going to revisit this in about a month, and you'll see that this groundwork has really paid off, and she's starting to understand what it is that she needs to do. There, she just flicked her ear back on me, which I like, because it's a shift for her to actually go from diverting her attention to whatever she finds interesting off in the distance to whatever I'm doing right up close and personal with her. And it's also interesting that we've done the other groundwork using the end of the lead rope halter, but for her this is all new. So even though it seems like I should have already taught her this, it's all new stuff for her. And I'm just using a nice little whip with a flat leather popper on it, so it doesn't hurt her at all. So she's more interested in just ignoring it. You can see the way she's got her attention off in the distance. These are the kinds of things that I don't want to have happen when I'm riding. So I try to work through a lot of this on the ground. Saves a lot of time in the saddle, makes things more interesting. And then when I get in the saddle, we're going to see I'm going to do these exact same exercises. I'm going to ask her to move her butt over. I'm going to ask her to move her shoulders over. And then, of course, we need to go over and do this exercise on the other side. Well, and actually right here, I'm asking her to move her shoulder over. Patting. So that'll come in useful as well when I need to do turns on the forehand, if I need to do a leg yield. So she's actually crossing over much more nicely than she did before I put the saddle on. I think she knows the camera's on her and maybe she needs to be a good girl now. So now I'm going to ask her for the shoulder to move on the other side. And she is starting to figure that out. You can tell it's been a while. I'm going to rearrange my rope. You always want to keep that rope wound up and make sure that it's wrapped up in loops that are not wrapped around your hand. You want to make sure you stay safe that way. And I'm going to start tapping on her shoulder, asking her shoulder to move over. Again, she wants to move forward, and I say, no, not forward, not forward. I want you to move sideways. So there she took a step behind, which is not what I want. There was a step in front. One of the things that Ava does when she's starting to figure things out, she'll shake her head a little bit. There she took a nice step across, and then she's going back, stepping back behind. There's a step in front, starting to figure out her body. Then petting her, letting her have a chance to understand what was good. The key is the release of the pressure and the petting her when she does it right. You can see she's not very upset or getting too stressed out about this, but she is trying to figure it out. She is still trying to move her back end. There was a good front leg, but she wants to move and pivot her back leg as much as possible. But again, I'm not concerned about that. As long as she's getting her shoulder out of my way right now, I'll accept that. We'll refine that and make it better as we go.